Yeah, I like that. Should we keep that as the official
That was
song?
dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
That's Tony B. That's another local artist, DJ. What's the song called? Moonlight Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
That's good shit. So check that out if you guys like that. Welcome to the second episode, guys. We have
What's
Mike
happening,
Willis, Metrii Nelson.
Chit.
How you guys doing today?
Good, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited to have you all on, man. I think the main reason I wanted to have you guys on is talk about the Fredericksburg scene. And but first, before that, let's get to know each other. You know what I mean? You're a rapper and musician.
Yep.
And you're a business owner and artist. You own Vibes and Paint. Can you tell us about Vibes and Paint? I don't really know that much about what you're doing with that.
So if you've ever heard of like the whole paint and sip thing,
Yeah.
we do that times 12.
Okay.
DJ, food, concession, vendors, giveaways, silent auctions. It's kind of like just a huge event around the idea of paint and sips. Now we don't just do paint and sips; we do like regular events as well, like birthday parties, bar mitzvahs. Man, we do everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everything. We want to be the best entertainment company in the area, to be honest.
That's pretty cool, man. So y'all are doing a little bit of everything. It's not just a paint and sip.
Yep,
Man, I'm gonna have to come check that out. That sounds pretty
it's fun, man. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. It sounds like a happening. You know what I mean? It's not typically when you think of those things, it's like basic white women going out and drinking wine and painting like
That's the demographic.
some stenciled art that was already ready for them when they got there, and they
Right.
just do color by numbers or whatever.
2 glasses of wine and boom, that's the night.
Yeah. It sounds like you're doing a whole interactive experience and kind of like a little party, man.
Yeah,
Everybody
man.
get together and paint and shit.
Our quote is, "It's a movie." Because
Okay.
every event is literally like a movie. We always have a videographer on deck just to capture it because it's always a very good time.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
I dig that, man. I think I have to come out to your next one.
Love you too, man. Both of you guys, for real.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
do performances, bro, so we shoot at some point in time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm
Anytime.
definitely down too. So you said the next one is
Ugly Sweater Party, December 21st at the spot 445 Jefferson Davis Highway, literally right across from JM. A lot of people miss it, but it's literally right between the pawn shop and Papa John's. It's like a little venue space.
okay.
Oh,
A
shit.
lot of space in there,
I
man.
ain't
A
even
lot
know
of
that.
space.
Yeah,
Right.
it's okay. I know exactly where you're talking
Like
about.
you said, man, it's a lot of potential out here. Like we got venue
Yeah.
spaces, artists, comedians, rappers.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to have you guys on, man, because it's like we have all this space, but how do we get people there?
Right.
You know, how do we get the word out that all this stuff is going? Because Facebook and stuff like that can only carry us but so hard. Walking out and handing out flyers can only help us but so hard.
Right.
There's so many people around here. I hate to think that they'd just rather be at a regular bar just talking to each other. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being at a bar, talking to each other, have a conversation, but it's like, man, you'd think you'd want to go do an event, you know?
Right.
Come down to the Nappy Roots concert at, you know, that was disheartening, man. Nappy Roots came down to what is it?
Dominion Raceway.
Dominion Raceway, and
Nobody showed up.
it was not
Well, to be fair, that was a lot on Nappy Roots themselves. They didn't start promoting the show until like a week before the show. So, no disrespect to those guys or anything, but the whole
Right.
promotion scheme was just kind of messed up in that whole show.
You kind of know better when you
Yeah.
do stuff like that, yeah.
So it's like,
So I think that's a lesson that we have to take from that right there is that as artists, that it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't just all fall on the artist and it doesn't just all fall on the venue.
yeah.
You know, we got to both be pushing this.
Yeah.
Because like for that show, man, me and Zai, we sold out all our tickets that we had to sell. Like with the majority of that crowd that was there that night was there just for us.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that too.
Yeah.
And you could feel that vibe when it was going on because there was more people to watch Zai and to watch you than it was to watch Nappy. It seemed like a lot of people
Yeah.
left. Zai is really good, man.
Yeah, he is fucking really good. Shout out Zai Young.
Zai Young.
If you don't know, go check that motherfucker out. He's one of the dopest MCs in Fredericksburg area.
There's a lot of talent around here, man. There's so much talent around here, and I feel like it's just not being tapped into correctly.
Right.
There's
That too, man. And to be honest, one of the biggest problems with the whole trying to do shows and put things together is like a lot of people say that they're about this stuff. A lot of people who come and talk to you and be like, yeah, I want to be this or I want to be that. And then when you tell them what they got to do to make it happen, that's when things start getting like, I might make it. I don't know if I can. It's like if you actually want to be an artist in any facet of life, you gotta invest in yourself, and you gotta pursue it. You can't just think that you're gonna just sit there and make a few songs or even make a painting and just think that you're gonna fucking blow up out of nowhere because somebody just randomly found you. You ain't Justin Bieber, man. Like, hate to say it, but you actually it takes a lot more work than a lot of people are willing to do, and that's sad. But I don't know. There's also, that being said, there's also a lot of artists in this town that have that dedication and have that drive.
There is. That's why I brought you guys on, because I see that. I've never even met you before, and I can see that through your posts and through your pictures and stuff. I mean, hell, the picture, is that all your paintings for the
bruh, it's crazy because I know I painted more than 350, 400 paintings. I probably only got like 11 in my inventory.
Really?
That's good though.
That's awesome. Man. I saw a mural you did the other day too. Where was that mural at?
Germantown, Maryland.
Oh
yeah, I got some family in DC, and they reached out to a friend. I got everybody I know pushing my agenda, like in DMs, like, hey, you there? Go ahead and tell that person that I paint. So they basically spread the word, and I got the gig, went out there and knocked that thing out in 3 days, man.
That's another big thing that it takes too, is supportive friends and family. That all it takes is to share a post or to put a word in somebody's ear that you know,
that too, and getting out there and actually meeting new people, because people you don't know will go harder for you than anybody else out there. That shit is crazy.
Network. You right, bro.
Yeah, it's like it's I don't know. It's almost like the people that know you are like, okay, you've been doing this. We've known you've been doing this. We support you, but like, come on, man. Like, we can't be there all the time. So
right.
But it's those fucking, I don't know. In my field anyway, I've noticed that like people that I've just met doing shows in different places have gone harder for me, like sharing my music, sharing my shows and stuff like that, than almost anybody. And I'm fucking thankful for that, for all you people that support me and help me do what I'm doing.
That's how I feel too. I mean, you've been in the Knot group on Facebook that I have for a while. I just brought you in it the other day, but I have such a huge following of people from all over the country I've never met before,
and people overseas. Shout out Europe, man.
yeah, all around the world that support the fuck out of my crazy ass for what reason I'm not totally sure of, but it means a lot, man. And you're right; those people go harder for me than anybody that I actually know and have actually met in my life, and it's strange. I want to go back to something you said, the Justin Bieber thing. I feel like another problem that we have with people wanting to put in the work and stay consistent and commit and pay to play to do what we want to do is this Instagram, YouTube society that we live in of instant fame.
Right.
And people just going viral out of nowhere. Right. So when that doesn't happen for certain people,
it's discouraging. It's
discouraging, and they give up. Or they see someone stupid like me with all these people that keep supporting me, and they don't understand why, and they get discouraged when they don't have it. But I think it's just about staying committed and putting in the work, man, and understanding that you're not going to get famous overnight. Right. Even Justin Bieber didn't get famous overnight. No, it just seemed like that. He put in a lot of work. You know what I mean? Everybody has to. It's like with anything. You don't just magically know how to ride a bike. Yeah. And even once you learn how to ride it, you don't know how to hit jumps or ride wheelies. Right. It's a discipline. That's a skill. That's something you have to teach yourself and keep working at. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to stay home on Friday nights and work on your paintings or work on your poetry or work on your comedy. Right. I don't know, man. I want to light a fire under people because I just know there's something special in this town that, and not just this town, but everybody that, you know, we were just talking about all around, that people have so much potential, man, and they don't give themselves enough credit.
So it's frustrating.
Yeah, and it is frustrating because it's like, I want more for you.
That too, and sometimes, man, you see the most talented people get discouraged like that and just give up when they're just so good and they like don't even realize it. Right. It's fucking. I know a few artists like that, man.
Have you guys ever had moments
if y'all are watching that, I ain't gonna drop your names, but you need to put that music out I've been telling you to put out.
Shots fired.
Yeah. No, that's the same with the my fellow comedians. Is I've really been like, guys, like a lot, like you have potential. Not just you, but this scene has potential. Mm-hmm. And if if we can get people in the doors and keep going to shows and keep honing your craft, well, you'll be good. You have a future in this if you want it. Now, we may not all be Netflix and HBO potential, but we still have potential to make a living wage and have fun in life making money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, I'm fucking acid freak. I hate money and ego and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I understand that it's just something that I have to succumb to in this world. You know what I mean? I have to work. You and I talk about that all the time. We have to go do. What do you do for a living, Metrii?
I'm an artist.
You're a full-time artist?
Full-time.
So when did you stop clocking in for somebody else?
2017 in April. I quit wine and design, and that was another paint sip. I stayed there for about a year and a half, maybe 2.
Okay.
And it was kind of a give-get situation. They needed someone to be entertaining, to be fun, to bring people in. That was me. And I needed somewhere to, you know, kind of brush my skills up, have a place to paint in the studio. Yep. So I was there about a year and a half. And I don't know, I always sell my artwork on the side. And that kind of got to the point where it wasn't just paying gas money. I could pay some bills with it.
Right.
And after a while, I watched enough YouTube videos to where I was like, yo, start telling people I'm Bob Ross nephew. Do this shit myself. Yeah, literally. So after a while, I started to just jump into. I started to go to art shows in DC and Richmond, and I just kind of built my brand. And once I built the brand behind my name, people kind of built into me. It took them a while. And one thing I always try to remind myself, and it's like one of my favorite quotes from my man Evan. It's my brother before God. He will always say, "You are the money bag." And to us, that means like, bro, don't let anybody deter you from what you're doing. Like whatever you're rapping about, if P. Diddy pull up to you right now and is like, yo, you're my favorite rapper, but I want you to change these 2 words in your last song, fuck Diddy.
Yeah,
you're the money bag, bro.
That's facts.
You are the money bag.
To thine own self be true. I really try to live by that too, because I have people that in the comedy that everyone's got a different perspective, man. Everybody's got a different story to tell, and everybody's got styles and techniques that works for them. You know, I'm sure you've had people tell you that you should rap a certain way or flow a certain way, and it's like, take that shit with a grain of salt, man.
Or tell you need to wear something different. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. Y'all can do what you want. It's cool, but I'm not here for an image. It's just me, and it's always going to be what you see. Right. It's what you get.
Yeah. Like, but that's remaining true to yourself, and that's how you go on stage comfortable and deliver what you deliver the way that you do.
Have fun, most importantly.
Yeah, man,
at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, that's what I do it for. Like, because, I don't know, once you've had a tougher life and shit, like, you get to a certain point where it's just like you want to enjoy yourself more and not be so fucking down about things that are going on. And it's like that little bit of escape while you're up there giving people your feelings and emotions and shit like that. It's like that's the best feeling you can get in the world. Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
And I'm a junkie for that shit. Like,
just
shoot it right in there.
I love making people laugh, man. That's like, that's my fun. That's when I'm having fun. And the same for you. I mean, I love to paint. That's something I do often when I'm having like a writer's block or something. And I showed you my favorite artist the other day, Dolly and Ralph Steadman. I love splatter. Like, just release that. I think that's another thing too that as creatives we should learn to do is dive into other little creative things and use that as an outlet to break from what you're doing and change your perspective a little bit. I don't know.
Yep. It's a damn good goal.
Yeah. Like, I write poetry. I do paintings, but I'm not trying to get rich off that shit.
He fancies himself a poet.
He reckons himself a poet. Oh, my God. No, but I get what you're saying, too, Mike, about coming up from, like, hardship and kind of a hard life. And, man, I don't want that no more. I'm sick of suffering. You know,
man, life's too short. You gotta fucking enjoy this shit. We're all stuck here on this fucking rock, so you might as well fucking enjoy it.
And nobody knows why. So why are we taking everything so goddamn seriously all the time? It's like, have fun.
Right.
You know, buy a van, smoke crack. You know?
No. Do not do that.
People were farming our world for gold.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What do you say? The Anunnaki are farming us for gold?
Yo,
yeah, man.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Escape the soul person.
I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, EK.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should bring Metrii to the mountains next time we go.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome,
With the shits, yo. I'm fully with the shits, man. I'm a creative, so you can only imagine what type of. Yeah, man. I spent about 4 years just, I would say, trying to figure myself out in finger quotations. And yeah, I did a lot of. Yo, we're in the YouTube era. Like,
Yeah.
I spent about 8 hours a day on YouTube at points, just learning random stuff. Anunnaki trying to get the gold from all that, man. So yeah, to the mountains we go.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like nobody knows. You like to think you know because you're arrogant,
Right.
Yeah,
but
It's just, there you go.
yeah.
yeah, exactly, dog. Man, I dig you. Yeah, we're definitely gonna go to the mountains. Did you go to college?
I went to Norfolk State for 1 year, and I had way too much fun, bro. Man, I had way too much fun. I also went to the Art Institute of Washington. I didn't stay long. It was just too uniform for me.
Right.
Way too uniform.
I feel like
it was
that's not something you could really teach art.
Right. And I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't learn how to really be as creative as I could be till I just was like, yo, let me just paint some shit.
Right.
And just try this shit out.
And just let it flow, man.
Right.
No, that's really inspiring though that you're doing it full time, and it's cool how this is something I always try to tell people too. Like we have a friend who's a DJ, and I've been trying to help him like try to do stagehand work, try to wiggle your way into that realm as with a job. You know what I mean? Like how you did with the wine and paint, and then you adapted with that. You learned from that how to kind of run that business, and then you adapted your own style to it and made it your own and fucking ran with it. And
Right.
now you answer to you, you know, and that's
And
fucking
that's
beautiful.
everything.
That's what we all.
I keep my work scared because I keep telling them like, look, as soon as I can just make enough to make what I'm making now, I'm gone. Like,
Yeah. My work's the same way. They know it's a means to an end that, you know, in spring when the van is ready, that I'm gone. You know, I'm gonna go, but it's that doesn't make me better than what I'm doing. It just means while I'm here, I need to make the most of it. I need to learn everything that I can. I need to strengthen my work ethic. Whatever it is. There's just I don't know, man. There's so much you can take from practical things and apply to philosophy.
Yeah.
And I like Buddhism a lot. And I like to smoke Buddha and study the Buddha. Buddha land. Shout out to our friends.
Internal Dynamics.
Guys, get Dianetics. It's a great book. You're going to love it. My good friend L. Ron Hubbard wrote it. You're going to love it.
Oh, man. L. Ron Hubbard. My guy, yo.
Do you like L. Ron Hubbard? It's an interesting character, right?
As a creative, you understand people's crazy.
Yeah.
You understand why they try the things that they try. Like, I understand Kanye. I understand L. Ron Hubbard. You know what I'm saying? You get to understand people being a creative. So it's like, damn, bro, like you did that off of being like a cartoon novelist. Like, okay, anything is possible. So I wouldn't jump and say I like him. I wouldn't say that I don't like the man. His ideas, I do not follow.
Right, yeah. But
I do not follow.
There's a certain something about that you just almost kind of have to respect.
Right. It's like the chaotic magic. It just it blows your mind, bro. It blows your mind.
Yeah. It kind of fucked with me when I found out, because I like Crowley. And when I found out that Crowley was friends with L. Ron Hubbard, it just kind of like tainted that a little bit for me.
Makes sense.
yeah. I was like, I don't know about you guys anymore. But it's the same thing as wine and paint. It's like, there's still some concepts of yours that I kind of agree with and that I'll adapt to my own. But my intent is my intent, and I vibrate on a different frequency than you do. You know, I'm not into that dark shit.
Right.
It's all about spreading love for me, man. But no, the Buddhism thing at work, I've just been trying to. Work is play. I stopped calling it work. It's play. It's play. It's play. And I just realized that every day, I do tree work. So every time I start the saw, every time I throw a log on my shoulder, that's another piece of the van that's getting built. That's another person that I get to go meet. That's another laugh that I get to create. It's all a part of the ultimate thing. And I think when a lot of people, if a lot of other people Now, what works for me works for me. What works for you works for you. But I really think that's a concept that would help a lot of people if they could use it to their advantage.
I agree.
And then learn how to take those practical things, that work ethic from tree work and having to grind that shit out all day. Or you run heavy machinery. Mm-hmm. You're up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Every morning to get ready for work and shit. It takes a certain self-discipline, a willpower, and it teaches yourself a work ethic that when it's time to do the thing that's fun for me, I'm going to apply this to that.
Right.
And work even harder.
Right.
But I think more people that if they do want to be creative, they want to be painters, they want to be comedians, they want to be rappers or whatever, try to get a job at Vibes and Paint. Or not Vibes and Paint, but you know what I'm talking about.
Like a wine and design.
A wine and design. Try to get a job at a recording studio or a fucking club that does music often. Try to get a job at a comedy club serving. Anything like that just to get your foot in the door and keep your face around and you around that.
More volunteers around here.
Hey guys, you heard it. If you're interested in doing podcasts, FXBG Radio is looking for interns, so hit them up.
Put these youngest to work, man.
I need a Jamie for my podcast, so we'll smoke crack. Won't do that. Also, I'd like to say that the opinions of me and my fellow guest here are not of FXB Public Radio. They are of our own minds. Nobody told us to say this shit. It's weird, though, because I don't know. Where do you think your influence comes from? Where does thought come from? Where does influence come from? I think Fredericksburg has this creative energy and has a certain energy about the town. That sparks people. Certain people don't understand it. Certain people don't commit to it like we talked about. But how do we use that as influence in our own work?
That's a good question, man. One thing that I do know is that we're connected. Us creatives in the Fredericksburg area, we're connected because, I swear I seen you at a show.
I don't doubt it.
Expression sessions or something like that.
Yeah.
And I swear I was like,
shout out to Mika.
Shout out to Mika, yo. My point exactly, bro. Like, we're literally connected. We going to events with each other.
Right.
I'm passing you at Wawa, you at a 7-Eleven. Right. I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying, creating, and you're thinking about creating at the same time. So it's kind of like everybody's on the same wave. It's just not that, like we're not connecting like we should.
Is there a lack of communication, I guess?
I think that's what it is, man. I mean, we already know what time we live in. Like, everybody, what they're trying to do is divide us anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Sorry, did you say something?
Right. Our phones as well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what it is. Everybody's so, like you said, the times, it's so divided and everybody's so locked in their own little life, but their phones too and shit. It's a refusal to talk to each other. Yeah. You know? The social media has made us less social. Go figure.
Big time.
But no, I've seen you before at a comedy show. Zoom Coleman has hosted, shout out Zoom.
Shout out Zoom.
At Central Station, and shout out to Mr. Nikotakis. People around town can say what they want about Jim Nikotakis, but
the owner, right?
Yes, that's the owner of Central Station, Spirits, Bourbon Room, Grapevine. Right. Say what you want about the man, but he does nothing but supply. He has supplied a lot of stage time and a lot of opportunities for a lot of artists in this town. And I think that's one thing that people forget about him, and those establishments.
Right.
And
that's who, man. And one of the things, at least in hip hop, in our area, it's getting way better. Is like a lot of the venues they don't want to take the chance on us because you know how it is. Motherfuckers are drinking, and to be completely honest, when you're a rapper, most of the time everybody that's gonna be rapping, everybody's gonna be talking their shit. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes it does get kind of out of hand. I've been at a few shows that have gotten out of hand, and a lot of venues don't want to fucking. They don't want to take a chance on that because they're going to be fucking liable for having that show if something happens that's bad. So it's like, but it is getting a lot better. We've made some move. I was lucky to get Jim to let me do shows there. Yeah. But
so how do we curb that?
Changing. Well, doing what we're doing, keep doing shows, keep getting people to come out that aren't there, that are there to support and have fun, not there to just
start trouble.
Yeah, to start, not even to start trouble, not even that, just don't come to be hard. Like, none of us are, we're all trying to make it.
And also, we live in Fredericksburg.
Right, but we're all just trying to make it.
Right.
So it's like there's no use, like, if we got to build it with love. We can't, if we're all hating on each other, there ain't no way it's going to work out.
Right. Well, I don't have to shit on your empire to try and build mine.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
we could trade resources. Hey, y'all want to do a podcast?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, I do these shows, Vibes and Paint. We have performances. Would you want to rap? Would you want to do comedy?
Right. Exactly.
Hey, I want to put on an art show to benefit the homeless shelter. Can you help me with that, Metrii? It's about, you got to cross promote and help each other, man. There has to be a certain level of self-preservation, but it's not a selfish thing. It's realizing that, like you said, we're all one.
You just got a fellowship, man.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, there needs to be a certain creator's covenant or something.
Right.
And I think a lot of other people feel the way that we do too. It's just they haven't heard anybody verbalize it on a broad enough scale, at least.
Right.
So I think it's important and good that we're doing that. I've seen other people try to do stuff like this, but it does get hard when it's, you know, you got DJ Tony B and you got Chubb and you got all these other DJs in town that's like, I can't think of the other guys, Casper and Dren, right? It's like, how do I push my show that I'm doing tonight and push your show too? Like, how do we support each other?
Right.
And people start getting competitive sometimes when it doesn't need to be. So
Everybody's trying to eat, man.
yeah. Everybody's trying to eat.
And there's plenty of resources to go around.
Exactly. Because it's not like we live. I mean, back when my dad grew up, it was a small town, but this is not a small town anymore.
No.
I mean, you drive in any direction, and it's suburbs on top of suburbs, townhouses on top. They're loading up with apartments over here by 95 and South Point. You work for...
I build half of them.
Exactly. You're over here building half of these places. I mean, everywhere you look, walking around downtown, they're putting up the Riverside townhouses
They
right
tore
there.
down that whole block. I'm interested to see what they're bringing there.
I'm interested to see what they put there too. But this is a town on the rise, and we can't just let it be full of fucking Subways and Starbucks and shit. We need more Katoras, and we need more rec centers, and we need more places like that will... You were talking about the rappers having trouble doing shows around here. We have two dear friends, Evil Monstar, Andy Schuster, and our friend Eric Golden, they really want to do EDM music. They want to play dubstep. They want to play fucking dubstep. And they have trouble doing it because of...
Yeah, the town wants no part of dubstep.
The town wants no part of it.
None of the bars want any part of it. Like, they got away with that rave last winter where I met you the first time.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Like...
And even that was very strict. Fire marshals were all over it. Women weren't allowed to bring their purses in because the city, gave the venue all these different list of things that we need you to make because,
So that's another thing too with like bringing in some bigger name artists. They will reject them depending on what their music's about. Just because they're like, we cannot take it. The city would not take a chance on you doing this because it's way bigger than just like the venue in itself. They got like repercussions to look at for their whole reputation and their name and shit, and you can understand that. Nobody wants to. You got a fucking 20-30 year reputation that you're not trying to mess up taking a chance on somebody. So I understand it, but
so I think that
we're changing that. Like I said, we're fucking changing that.
Once again, that falls back on us to be a little bit more responsible as consumers and as people attending these events to not, if you're going to do drugs, be a little halfway responsible.
Right.
But it's like, even if we're not having raves or metal shows, that's another thing that we have trouble in town with is metal shows because they don't want people moshing.
Yeah, because it's technically illegal to mosh in Virginia.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yo,
illegal.
Commonwealth, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you can't beat the shit out of yourself in a pit with people.
Yeah. So yeah, it just falls back on us, I think, to be a little bit more responsible as people going out. But it's like, even if you don't have raves, even if you don't have people moshing, guess what? Motherfuckers still know where to find cocaine and heroin.
Right.
I would rather take a tab of acid than buy a gram of coke and snort my fucking life away. You know, I'm not going to ask you guys to talk on that subject, but
no, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm very shameless about it. But now,
a long spent way too much time drowning myself in cocaine, so it's like, I don't know. That's just,
you should write a song about it.
Stay away. Fuck you, man. He's saying that because I just recorded a song the other day called Nightmares that I'm gonna be shooting a video with 17K Entertainment. Shout out Quade Dawkins and A Waiter and everybody that's with 17K, man. They fucking shoot dope ass videos, man. So if y'all need video work, go there. But we're shooting a video for it on the 26th. I'm hoping to have it out by the new year. So keep your eyes out for that.
I'm excited for that. 'Cause I've been getting on you all summer about finish the fucking song, Mike. But regardless of whether there's a rave or a mosh pit going on in town, people are still going to be doing drugs irresponsibly. And people are still going to be getting shit-faced drunk and fighting each other in town square.
Hell yeah. I can guarantee you go to Fredericksburg, the Fredericksburg Hard Times, every Friday and Saturday, at least one person's getting knocked out.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Or,
wait,
I mean, if
last time I was there at a damn karaoke thing, this dude got slumped right in the middle, right in the middle of the road, right out front. I was like, God damn.
Karaoke night.
Right, karaoke.
you go wild at karaoke.
How?
You know, almost every time I'm downtown, you know, there's a fight that happens in that little town square right there.
Yeah,
in a little marketplace.
Either that or like out by Spirits.
Right.
Spirits is another place.
I didn't really want to name drop any establishments, but yes. Spirits and Bourbon Room. Sorry, Jim.
You can't help. People get drunk, man.
Yeah, people.
And in Jim's defense, they're not inside Spirits. It just happens out front of Spirits.
Yes. No.
And the nice bouncers normally take care of any of them troublemakers. So
the bouncers are very good about weaning out the shitheads, man, because we've been there a lot.
I love you, Jim. Don't hate me.
I love Jim too, despite what he might think about me. Jim and I had a little bit of headbutt because, and I love him to death and respect him for that. He's been hosting comedy at Central for a long time, for about a year now, and then they were doing open mics every other Thursday, and I was like, "Fuck this, we need more stage time." So one day when I was just walking around, talking to people, getting to know new people, like we were talking about, I stumbled into the rec center, and I started talking to the new owners, Melissa and Keith Anderson. They're great people.
Yeah, they're dope. And
they were very open about letting me do comedy there, and they've been very helpful with the promotion process as well. It's been very much a two-way street. But I think that when I did that, Jim thought I was kind of undermining him or trying to compete with his, and it wasn't. It was
just creating another platform.
Right. It was I can't act like it's a total selfless act because I want the stage time too. But my other comedians and myself we need stage time. We need as much stage time as possible if I want to be good. That's my canvas. I can't go buy that from Walmart or Michael's.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, that too. And like you always hear like Joe Rogan reference. He's always talking about when he came up, there would be like 3 different comedy at 3 different places, and he would go hit every one of them each night. So it's not, and I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
Go from the rec center and then go do another set at
Jim.
So Station. It's not like you're not showing him love. It's just going for stage time.
And that's something I wanted to show him too, because once that started happening, because that was a couple weeks ago, I had a show on Thursday night, and every Thursday night at Central Station, we do open mic. So I'm doing mine every other. Well, there was a caravan of comedians that came up from Richmond, that came up from the city of Richmond to Fredericksburg to do comedy. Yeah. That's saying something, man, because there was multiple venues for them to go perform.
Right. Yep.
And we're having that again this Thursday on the 12th. I'll be having my ugly sweater contest / open mic.
What you looking for over there, big guy?
What's going on, Eric?
Hearing a vibration.
It might just be mine.
Okay.
It might just be mine.
But then we'll have then we'll have the open mic at Central Station, and when I do that open mic at Rec Center and then I hit Central Station, last time I did that, I fucking killed at Central Station. I uploaded that video on YouTube and submitted it for comedy festivals. That's how confident I was in and I'm my biggest critic. I'm my own biggest critic.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how do you guys criticize yourselves? Are you your own
Oh,
biggest
Jesus.
critic?
Fucking, where I record with a guy named Tef Wesley. He's probably one of the best.
A fellow comedian of mine,
and
Pete, actually noticed him in your picture the other day.
Yeah, he's one of the dopest engineers in the in our city. Does dope work, but he always gets on me because I'll be like, nah, man, I didn't like how that sounds. He's like, nah, it sounded dope, dude. Just let it go. And I'm like, really? And I was like, let me try it my way real quick. And then I'll just cancel out whatever I just recorded the second time. I'm like, all right, man, I get it. Gotta, most of the time, because you're a perfectionist, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to bars, because like when you're rapping and stuff, it's a lot about, like, when you write a song, you're also writing like a breath cadence. Like you have to know when and where you can take your breaths and stuff. And sometimes when you're recording, you know how it is once the fucking record button goes on anything, it just becomes like a little bit harder for no reason.
Yeah.
And like fucking, so like I'll miss a breath cadence or some shit, and it'll just come off not how I like it. So I constantly make myself redo everything until it's like, I know, because I'm like, I know where I need to take this breath, and that wasn't it, so we got to re-record it. Because it makes the rest of the recording sound bad.
Right. What about you, Metrii?
Same, man. I mean, to be 100% honest, I know for a fact I'm my biggest critic as far as artwork. I never finish a painting. I never feel like I've completed it. It's always like, that's what they asked for, so I'm going to just stop here, because I'll literally spend a good 48 hours over a finished project because I just want it to be that perfect. But that goes back to that statement I said earlier. I'm the money bag. So There'll be a painting where I'm just staring at it like, yo, I don't know what it is. I don't know what color scheme I did wrong or whatever it is, but I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to try something different. And a week later, somebody will be like, yo, that's the best painting I've ever seen in my life. Like that piece of crap that I thought of a week ago, somebody's like, yo, that is exactly what I envisioned. That's what I like about art, or something. Like they'll enjoy it. Same with your music, bro. Like you'll miss that cadence, but somebody will hear that track one day and be like, yo, I don't know what he did with his voice on that part, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird, bro. It's kind of weird because like we are our own critics, but at the same time, we're the creator as well.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's people tell me that too. When I criticize myself, I'm like, man, I should have said da-da-da. I meant to say, and they're like, Scott, nobody knows that you were supposed to say that except you.
Exactly.
Right.
Don't be so hard on yourself that you forgot one little line. Comedy's weird too, man, because it's like I have a cadence that I want to hit too. When I write jokes, it's like I'm not a musician, but I've had people tell me it's like tuning a guitar. Like there's a certain verbiage or wording that I'm trying to find to have that flow to it, so it flows off my tongue correctly. But there's also a tone and a delivery with which I need to speak to deliver each joke good. You've seen me deliver a joke in person and fucking, we were both cracking up walking home from 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they can do it on stage and nobody gets
and
it.
I bomb.
Sometimes horribly. I'm just like, maybe it's just the acid. Maybe that joke wasn't as good as it was, but at least I know it was good in that moment.
Right.
My acid trips are actually what inspired me to do comedy. Tripping with groups of friends and being that guy. I don't know. That's kind of what made me start wanting to do comedy. And obviously I have influences too, like Chappelle, Richard Pryor is another favorite of mine. As much as I wouldn't like to admit, I watched Dane Cook a lot when I was younger.
I love Dane Cook, bro.
Dane Cook gets a lot of hate, but like he's kind of funny.
Either way.
His energy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And Rogan's obviously one of my favorites. I think a lot of people know that. And Joey Diaz.
Yeah. Man, I think my favorite comedian of all time would be George Carlin, man.
George Carlin.
I
love George Carlin.
He's like the best.
I love Bill Hicks too. And that's what Hicks and Carlin did with trying to alter people's perspective and poke fun of the norm and society. That's the type of shit I want to do. Yeah. But not on some, I want to be the next Carlin or I want to be the next Bill Hicks. I want to be the first fucking Scott.
Yeah,
exactly. What's your advice to local artists, painters specifically with getting their art out there, because I have a lot of friends who are local artists who want to be painters. They love to paint. But man, the places, there's a lot of establishments in town that are classy as fuck. We cannot deny that. And those places love hanging art and have all kinds of local artists hang their art. Have you ever hung your art anywhere like that downtown?
A couple places.
And how hard is that to do? What tips would you give local artists?
First tip, stop being a little punk. To be 100% honest.
You're the money bag.
Yo, stop being a punk. To be 100% honest, we're in an era to where, like, art is hot again, you know? Like, it's popping again. You can be an artist and make just as much money as Bill Gates off of being a creator, off of being an illustrator, off of being a painter, off of being a rapper. It's literally the era to where if you're creative, find your niche, somebody will pay you a bunch of money. So my first advice would just literally be stop being scared. And then after that, use your outlets, man. It's literally like 101 ways for us to create. Like you said, there's places downtown that literally are like, yo, if you're an artist, come drop your art off. Some people ask for vendor's fees. Some people ask for you to have a vendor's license. But there's always a way. Always a way. It's always somebody that's like just waiting for you.
Right, and that comes back to investing in yourself.
Exactly.
Like you can't if
You gotta pay to play.
you gotta invest time and the money. Nothing in this world is free at all.
Facts.
You're not gonna get any kind of promotion on what you do for free. I mean, you might get it from a few friends or whatever sharing, but nothing is free. So you gotta invest in yourself to whatever you're doing, or you're never gonna get out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you gotta build good rapport. Like if you don't have. Like, I mean, we're all a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? We're humans. We're trapped in a planet.
That we don't understand.
Yeah, so like, goddamn stoner, I forgot where I was going with that.
You understand
What
we're all
was I
crazy?
talking about?
I think we were talking about basically advice for artists, rappers.
Saying something about you got to understand we're all crazy.
No.
And you just lost
No,
it.
it was the thought before
The
that.
thought before that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was about getting our art out there. About not being
Actually doing it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Commit.
Investing in yourself and shit.
You know?
I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, guys.
Sounded great though.
Stoner.
Had a great build up. I was with
Hell
you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Man, how shitty would that be if you had a coach like that at the Super Bowl? And he's like, all right, guys, we're going to go out there and.
Fuck.
I lost it. Sorry. Guess we're going to lose. We'll probably lose.
Right. That would be terrible.
I have a problem with. I get too zealous and passionate about shit like that when I try to pump people up. And I feel like sometimes I start to come off as a dick. It stops going from.
No, you just already are.
I'm already a dick?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
Just
that.
kidding. Scott is not a dick.
That's very confusing because this is not a podcast. People are like, what? I'm just passionate about it though, man. But I need to realize to be more from a love space. But I don't know, it does take a little bit of tough love sometimes and light a fire under people's asses. That's what I told both of you guys about this podcast and about doing this is I wanted to light a fire under. Now, obviously, everybody can't be a creator. If we had a world full of painters and poets, well, who the fuck's going to build a house? Right. I need somebody to do my plumbing, dude.
Right. Farmers, like
exactly.
Right.
That man, agriculture is. I feel like a lot of people in our society, in our current society, don't realize how important agriculture is, and that if we don't have people,
If it stops, we all die.
we're
Exactly.
done. We're done.
We all die. Well, the ones that don't know how to harvest their own food die.
Yeah. Now, I think it's important to have like your own personal garden, but I also think it's really important to support large agriculture on large scales, large farms. But yeah, definitely your own personal like vegetable garden and stuff, and know how to. Even people in cities build gardens on the rooftops and shit, man. We have community gardens in downtown Fredericksburg. Like, there's all sorts of
called
resources.
the Greens, isn't it? Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Greens. Yep, one of my favorite places in town. Actually, I just went there the other day.
Speaking of which, whoever put the Greens together, I need to talk to you. So
Yeah, if anybody knows who built the Greens,
I'd just like to ask a few questions.
We have some questions about your intent.
There's that big sun wheel just for, we don't care about everything else there. It's just a big sun wheel you got in the back. I just want to know what's up with that thing.
For real. Who made it?
It's cool as shit.
That thing is.
There's like, have you ever been to it?
I had an event. I mean, I went to an event there, but I'm like, what are they talking
Okay, you know how when you go to the events, you go down behind the flower house?
Right.
And as you're coming up into the backyard, or like into the back around the place to the field, right to your right is like this giant rock sunwheel looking thing. It's got 3 big rocks right in the middle of it, and then it's got a bunch of lines coming off of it, and it's a big circle.
It's a sun wheel that somebody built.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a sunwheel. That's why I want to talk to you.
Yeah. It's a something.
Yeah.
But it does have an energy about it.
Yeah.
When you walk up on it, it also might be the LSD. But I went there the other day sober after I did flyers on Saturday before the parade, and it still has that.
energy.
There's something about just talking about it gives me a little.
The heebie-jeebies.
There and the garden at the apothecary. We have an apothecary in town. It's like the colonial. It's right there on Caroline Street,
To the left.
to the left by the
I get
church.
some, yep.
With a big long porch.
Yep. I love going there to meditate. There's all kinds of plants back there, and they have all their like 1800s usages and what they would do with them and stuff. There's all kinds of cool shit like this down. The fucking revolution, like the revolution, part of it was planned here.
Yeah.
You know, you think what you will about Freemasons and the forefathers and shit, but they tapped into the energy of this town,
Right.
and did some stuff, man. There's something.
Yeah, they did some weird shit. That's for sure.
Did some weird shit. Or I just took a bunch of LSD and it's all coincidence. I don't know.
Right.
Coincidence or magic?
That's
you
very
be the
possible.
judge.
Yeah.
It's facts though, man. It's facts.
Yep.
So, how do we do it, guys? How do we change the world? Well, first of all, we got to change ourselves.
Big facts.
Oh yeah, I was watching a podcast today, and can't remember one of the dude was a soldier though, and he was like, every day we can make the world just a little bit better. Like, and that's up to every one of us. Like, it's got to be a collective effort, because not one person ain't gonna change the world. Like, it's
Right.
a good then one person can spark the thought to change the world, but it takes everyone here to go along and change everything. So it's like
Each just close to that Tupac quote, bro. You
Yeah,
was
that's
just
where I got it
fucking
from.
Close. I was like,
that's where I got it
It's like one
from.
word
Shout out
missing.
the greatest. Fucking that's exactly where I got it from, because
Facts.
Tupac said he'd spark the mind to change the world. He
I
said,
take that. That's deep.
yeah. And
You sent me that KRS-One video yesterday,
yo,
man.
KRS-One is the shit.
If you want, I'll send it to you too, Metrii. I posted it on my Facebook, but man, it was really deep, man. That's a deep cat. I did not realize
right.
how some of the concepts that he was talking about and dropping, man, were really powerful. But yeah, people need to wake up to themselves, realize their own potential. I keep telling people, you know, we talked about everyone that supports us and all the crazy motherfuckers that, you know, people we don't know support us. It's like, I posted on Facebook, support yourself and believe in yourself more than you believe in me. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about me?
Right.
I'm just some guy who likes to tell jokes and play with my dog and do drugs. Like, I'm not that special. Believe in yourself. And then once you've done that, forget who the fuck told you to do it, because I didn't tell you nothing you didn't know. It was already within. I just reminded you, and that doesn't make me special.
You were that spark.
Yeah. But spark each other. Those people influence me just as much as I influence them, man.
Right.
Who are y'all's influences? What are some of your broader influences that everyone would know? I named my favorite comedians. What are some of your local influences? You want to go first, Mike? You just talked about Tupac a second ago. That's why I went to you.
Yeah. I think that's a stereotypical
For
rap
rappers.
thing there. Like, anybody that, and it.
But you consider yourself
Tupac-
a poet. You
and
tell me all the time.
And that's one of the things that made me fall in love with Tupac's music, because I mean, of course there's all the gangster shit and shit that came with it, but it's just like, that dude was a fucking poet. And he wrote, if you can go look up his old poems, just his raw, you don't gotta hear him on beat or nothing, man.
Yeah.
And he was just a fucking genius. And like, Jesus, him, fucking Wu-Tang, man, fucking, like, you can't even have hip hop without Wu-Tang. Fucking, oh God. Of course, Eminem too. Big Crit, man, Big Crit. Big Crit is my favorite living artist.
We talk about him pretty often. I feel like he's one of the most slept on current artists right now.
He's been the most underrated rapper since all time, when he is really one of the greatest. But it's also has a lot to do with, like, if you listen to his music, yeah, he does have a lot of just like that normal party, do whatever, shine and shit. But he also has a lot of consciousness. Mm-hmm. Like he speaks from his heart, and he's a poet. And
that's what I like, the consciousness.
Yeah, and it's he's out of that like mainstream loop fully too, because he just dropped, like, I think it was 2 years ago now, or a year ago, last year, one of the two. He dropped from all industry labels, and he's putting it all out himself now. So it's like he's completely himself. And both the albums he's put out, or 3 albums, I believe, 1 album, 2 mixtapes, I think, have been fire as shit. Yeah.
And it's I think that's because he takes the money bag philosophy. He bets on himself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All day.
I'm not going to sell myself short because I know what my worth is. Right. I'm not changing these 2 songs for you, Diddy, because now I'm French Montana. And I go, and I can't listen to shit like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
How about you, Metrii? Or actually, sorry, Mike. What are some of your other influences outside of rap when it comes to music, and outside of music? What are some of your local influences?
Locally,
you ever heard of this band called Pink Floyd? Man, they're pretty good. I think you might like them.
Yeah, I do a lot. Pink Floyd's great. They're probably one of my biggest musical influences ever.
Poets, man.
Yeah. Poets, and they're fucking weird as shit. But and they got a beautiful message in a lot of their stuff.
Eric, play Echoes for us real quick. Let's listen to Echoes.
You can't do that. We'll get taken off the air. Fucking yeah, Pink Floyd. And that too, man, I listen to, like, I can't even just isolate my influences in one category. Like, I listen to literally almost every music you can think of. There's not many genres that I can't go into and at least vibe with something. Yep. And that's what I like. Like, going back to Big Crit, one of my favorite lines of his is it's some have seen the signs, but I've driven through them. If the music doesn't touch my soul, I can't listen to them. And it's like, there's so many different songs that you can tell when an artist is pouring their heart out on a track. You know what I mean? And that, or not even so much pouring, but when they're just super into what they're doing. And that's what I normally if you can make my hair stand up on my neck, I'm probably gonna fuck with you. Yeah. Like,
you have that song about depression. You have it on YouTube, don't you?
Yeah, I got a bunch of tracks on YouTube, a few music videos and shit. And
what's that one song in particular? The song you have about depression is really good. I've seen you perform it live and stuff too, and it comes from a real place.
Yeah, that's Mike Willis, Depression. If you want to go look that up on YouTube, it'll take you to my YouTube channel, and you can like and hit that subscribe button.
Hit that bell. What about locally? I named physical places. We talked about the Sun Wheel.
Local influences. That one's kind of hard, man. Like, I don't want to sound like conceited or anything, but as far as like my music goes, I feel like I'm only influenced by a certain few people, and it's like I said, the people that make my hair stand up on my neck. Right. Like, I love that, and then just people that got the drive, like people like you that are out doing your shit, and people like you that are doing your own shit. Like, anybody that's doing that is a good influence on me, because it makes me get off my ass and not sleep on myself, because it's like, you're not sleeping on yourself. Yep. So why am I sleeping on myself right now? Like, because I know I got talent. Like,
yep. We have to surround ourselves with each other too, with like-minded individuals. Right. And I think that's what other people out there
that too, and you need to go out and talk to people that ain't like you. Yep. That's more important than finding your like-minded friends. Yep. Is you gotta we can't all just be one track and stay in our little groups because we all think the same and share the same view. That's not how like anything progresses.
You gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you gotta go out of your comfort zone and talk to people you normally wouldn't even talk to. Fucking anything, man. Like,
fuck around, change your life.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
You can have people your whole life be with you the whole time, ain't done shit for you, and then you meet that one person to change your life forever.
Yep. Inserting myself in the situations that I never normally did is how I met you. You know, I was never into like the rave scene and shit like that, but meeting Andy through Tony B and Chubb is what led me to meeting you. And now we're it's one of my best fucking friends. Actually related to this motherfucker.
Yeah, that was a weird happening there. We were both on a mountain, and we may or may have not taken drugs. And we're standing by this fire, and like it's a full moon, right? And my other cousin, energy. My other cousin Billy, it was weird because if I wouldn't have invited these two specific people to come up there with me, because I was performing at a little festival thing. And, like, if I wouldn't have invited both of those two people up there, we would have never realized that we're family. Mm-hmm. So it was just
That's
like
nuts, yo.
It was such a weird happening,
so
man.
weird. And we had only known each other for, like, what, 4 months?
Yeah, I've only known you a couple months, yeah.
That shit was crazy. Maybe 5 months. I don't even know. But it was just weird.
You're right, though.
And that time it wasn't the LSD.
Yeah.
Divine intervention. That's what it was.
Yeah. Providence. We definitely meet certain people, everybody, for a reason. Everything happens. I'm a believer in that, man, because I can go back in my life and pinpoint shit that at the time I perceived as bad, but actually led to a lot of fucking cool things and a lot of good things and made me who I am now. So, yeah, I think you're right. It's the people that you wouldn't normally talk to. It'll change your fucking life. Yeah. Who are some of your influences when it comes to... You're a painter, so I feel like you can take... There's so many influences that go into that. It's not just paint. It's listen to music.
Right. I would say one of my main influences was Bob Ross, bro.
Really?
Like, literally, I would watch Bob Ross all day as a kid.
It's wholesome as fuck.
Yeah, and it was just like therapeutic. I was like, I'm not mad. I don't want to go I don't want to go fight my little brother.
Right.
Go destroy something, you know what I'm saying? So just watching Bob Ross on PBS, I was like, yo, people create dope stuff. And you can be whoever you want doing that. So he was kind of like my first influence as far as being creative.
Right.
I don't know, man. Just as far as music, like I really loved Kid Cudi, but
fuck yeah, me too, man.
Pusha T's attitude, bro. Pusha T's such an aggressive rapper, and that's my approach to my artwork. Like, buy my shit, bro.
Right.
Like, how you doing? Hey, this is who I am.
So it's kind of applying that cocaine dealer mentality to
exactly.
It's applying that hustle to your craft.
I have no idea the schematics of drug dealing, but I would say, you know, I took that idea and brought it to my artwork, not knowing.
I wasn't saying that you did.
Right.
I feel like people will think that I'm stereotyping you.
That was a Pusha T reference.
Was it? Oh,
yeah, because Pusha T definitely has talked about a lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs.
No, yeah,
I love Pusha T too. By the way, shout out Virginia.
Shout out Virginia, exactly.
And being as though he's from Virginia, that's kind of one of the reasons that made me like him as an artist.
We should study other artists from Virginia. There's a lot of good comedians from Virginia, and from this Ari Shaffir, I'm sure you know, that's on Joe Rogan all the times, from the DMV area. There's a lot of good comedians, a lot of rappers, musicians, and stuff. I don't know how much you like Timbaland and Missy Elliott, but you do have Pusha T. Pharrell, yeah.
Right.
I mean, come on, dude. What better template to have as far as a hustle and I am the money bag mentality than fucking Pharrell.
Yeah, ain't Trey Songz from Virginia?
Trey Songz, Chris Brown.
Yeah, he's from Portsmouth. Yeah.
Titanic.
Fuck, we got AI. Like we got some titans, bro. Yeah. We got some titans.
Even though he's kind of polarized in the media right now, Michael Vick.
Facts.
I like how you knew what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was like, it's coming,
dude. I fucking love Michael Vick growing up because I was a football fan.
There is no denying he is regardless of anything that man has done, he is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live.
Yep.
So
one of the greatest athletes.
and I respect the fuck out of that. So.
Yeah. I don't agree with dogfighting.
I don't think anybody really does.
I don't think a lot of people do. And I think a lot of what the media has done is try to spin this as a race thing. And it's just a more polarizing issue. And it's don't let that shit fucking happen.
It's kind of embarrassing for real, man. Just to like see that type of stuff happen immediately, you know?
Yeah,
like I didn't even notice. I just looked on Facebook one day and was like, damn, when did the world divide over Vic?
Right.
Over Vic.
Like I'm just saying those dogs, they had beef beforehand. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
We needed that.
Little comic relief from Eric. Eric's views do not
reflect the views of the rest.
Do they reflect?
My views don't mean anything.
I'm a silent partner. I don't know. So I feel like we can't let the media polarize us as much as they'd like you to think that we're polarized. A big part of what I'm trying to do with my comedy and my travels and shit is go meet people and kind of document the fact that we're different. Justin Tassin, a person who's in this, not a Facebook group, he's a soldier in the U.S. Army. He's one of my biggest fucking supporters. Him and I are so different in so many fucking ways, but still we get along in such an authentic, meaningful manner that people wouldn't typically like you to think that a hippie and a soldier can get along in that way.
Right.
And you know, so he pointed out to me too earlier today that, you know, not all cops are bad. There's a lot of bad training and tactics and shit that goes into at a certain extent we do need some sort of police. Like we can't have motherfuckers out here murdering each other and shit. But they definitely go about their shit the wrong way.
Right.
And the media, when it happens, they like to push that in your face because they want to play on your emotions and they want to polarize us because it's divide and conquer. Because the more that we don't work together,
easy it is to control us all.
Exactly. I think that's something we need to work on as a society too.
That too, and I think one thing we need as a whole society, we need to start taking opinions from people in the middle more than the extremes on both sides.
Yes.
Because, like, all they want to give you is, like, they'll give you the most extreme crazy shit that's going on over here and the most extreme crazy shit that's going on over here. And then, like, there's this giant chunk in the middle where we're all like, y'all are all crazy. like, you know what I mean? Just focus. I don't know.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy because, like,
Moderation. It needs to be moderation.
You're right.
Is what you're
Right.
saying.
You're right.
But that shock value sells like a motherfucker.
Rhetoric and shock value.
No. Every time you click on any of those articles with that clickbaity headline, them motherfuckers got paid just for you going there.
Definitely.
And they also might have got your information when you got there, so they spread that around Google. We all know how that works by now. They spread it around Google, and then they start throwing every clickbait thing that you might click on right in your face.
Yep.
And then you wonder why you're pissed off all the time.
Yep. Because it's tuned into you. And the more that you don't open yourself up to people that will change your life, the more you live in an echo chamber, and the more that you won't see outside facts, the more cognitive dissonance that creates to where you're just like, nope, nothing outside of what I think is true. And I will not accept any new information that goes against what I'm thinking.
It's almost like an organism itself, man. It's almost like social media or our phones, period. You know what I'm saying? They have the power to change our opinions, which is nuts.
Yeah.
Before you can change my opinion, a real person, I could look at my phone and literally
Be like, oh shit,
what? That's absurd, bro. That's absurd. But that's literally where we at right now.
It's sad. It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's important for us to get out of our phones and talk to each other. And if you are going to use your phone, use social media, use it. Don't let it use you, and use it for good. Use it to show shit like this. You know what I mean? Use it to show that not everybody's so different. You know, if you're going to post on Facebook, let it be a video of a fucking Muslim and a Jewish guy taking bong hits or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? I feel like I cut you off a little bit though, Mitch. we were talking about some of your influences.
But we got on a good run though, bro.
yeah. It's been a good
got on
conversation. We've been going over an hour now. I don't know if you guys know that.
No, I'm not paying attention.
Yep. I don't know if you have anywhere to be. We still got another
nah.
40 minutes that we can go before he has to start getting ready for the next show.
I think where I left off was like
talking
my
about
main
Pusha
influence
T.
on like a big scale. So I don't know. Being as a creator, I'm just transparent. So a lot of things influence me. A lot of things.
What do you mean by that, transparent?
I like to be a vessel, man. I'm a creator. So
Okay,
a lot of
okay,
what I do,
okay.
I have to, like, I can't just close my eyes and create, which is great and it's fun, but I have to be transparent. I have to take in energy to put energy on the canvas. Yeah. So I take my influence from a lot of things, man. A lot of things. Like I can watch cartoons and be like, I saw a color scheme in the Animaniacs that made me want to paint a picture that has nothing to do with Animaniacs, but because I saw red, green, and blue on the side of a yellow mountain, it made me think of something that I wanted to create. So I just try to be like really transparent.
Okay, I like that, and I think a lot like that too when I'm creating that. It's beyond me at a certain point. I'm just a conduit. Because where does thought come from anyway?
That's the word, bro.
This is something the universe wanted to do. I'm just a flower growing, you know?
You'll be surprised at what happens when you're tapped in.
Yeah. Joey Diaz, one of my favorite comedians, always says, once the universe knows you're in, it's in.
Bruh.
And it's so true, you know? And when you can start to
one of the things in that podcast that KRS-One was talking about. Towards the end of that podcast is one of the things he was talking about.
Pull a little closer?
Is that better?
No, but you're right. It was I hate calling it God because I feel like Christianity has tainted that word, but it's
definitely
it's be universe, act universe, you know. And when you realize that we're all a conduit, it's treat each other that fucking way, dude.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, man.
Remain conscious of it, you know. But shit, if we don't know where thought comes from, then where does hate come from? Where does thought like that come from? You know, there's something that we're taught and memories that cause our influence. So that's got to be a cause of hate and evil and bad things, you know. As much as I like to look through the world through rose-colored glasses.
No, it's a fucked up ass world, bro.
There are energy vampires out there that they don't give a fuck about you or your existence. So you got to watch out for that. You can't just believe in everybody. You know, we can't just live like you say on good vibes.
Yeah, you can't do it
all the time.
Like in a perfect world, we would all be just vibing out, loving each other and shit. But that's just not where we're at. That's not where we're at. You know? And you're crazy to think that. I don't say you're crazy, but you just got to be real with where we exist. Like we're all fucked into this crazy madhouse.
Right.
You know, so it's like. Got to be real with that. You can't just because then you go through with this blind eye to everything that's really happening around you.
Yep.
And then once you get to the real shit, then you find it that one day you find that shit that you tried to block out of your existence, and then you in a whole lot of trouble.
Sitting there like I'm butt ass naked.
Right.
Damn.
Nope.
Facts. Energy, man. Facts.
I also think another thing that KRS-One was talking about that I've been trying to carry with myself now is we can't keep laying the blame on outside sources and shit too. It's me, and it's I let this affect me in this way. It's not other people are doing cocaine, and that bothers me and or what the fuck ever. It's I let it bother me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think some of that comes back to our ego and arrogance and shit too, and we want to think that we have all the answers, that we know everything that's right, when really I don't know shit.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even understand those concepts. Like a lot of people don't know that they're dealing with their own ego.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Exactly.
Right.
It's all a matter of perception too, man. You know, it's only the way that it is because I perceive it that way. Once the doors of perception are cleansed, things will appear to man as they truly are. Right. Infinite. You know, we're all fucking one. It's an infinite thing. It's the infinite source. It's the all source. Man, this went from talking about Fredericksburg,
but it just came full circle because like that's basically where I was left off at. Like I'm a conduit, bro. I'm literally a conduit. And that's what gives me a lot of energy to create on like a bigger scale. So I mean, I literally go throughout my day being very observant. I heard you earlier say that you do a lot of meditating. That's kind of what started me on getting back to wanting to be a creator, because I thought I was going to the league, bro. I got a growth spurt like my 11th grade year, I was dunking at like 5'9". So I was like, yeah, I'm going to the league.
Right.
Practice every day. Got my left hand just as good as my right hand. And went to college, and everyone had their left hand and their right hand. Everyone could dunk at 5'8".
Right.
So
But that's something you got to remember when you're painting and you're working on your paint too. Is you aren't the only one working,
bro, exactly. And that's kind of the whole money bag thing, because it's like it's a couple of y'all Fredericksburg artists that are better than me, but are you better than me?
Yeah.
Are you better than me?
Right. No, because nobody's better at being you than you.
Right.
You know, there are comedians in town that I think are just as talented or more talented, but nobody's better than me.
Right.
Because I'm doing what I'm doing.
You're the money
You're
bag.
doing what you're doing. You're the money bag. I really like that philosophy, man. I hope a lot of people carry that.
Right.
That's the sentiment I want people to take from this podcast. And I was going into it thinking it was going to be something else, but that you're the money bag shit, man. That's
Shout out to
real.
E, man. Shout out to E. Shout out to Evan Pugh, man.
Yeah. Bet on
Check
yourself.
my names.
Bet on your fucking self. You got to pay to play.
And to like oldest saying in the book, scared money don't make
no
money.
money,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
What?
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You're gonna win some, you're gonna fucking lose some. But if you don't even try, you're gonna be stuck doing that same monotonous shit you always do.
And if you feel like there isn't opportunities for you,
Jump.
create one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get out there and create one.
Yes.
Because nobody else is, at a certain point, nobody's going to do it for you.
Right.
You know, create an opportunity. Now, once you've done that, well, now you're hosting events and shit. Now you got people from DC
Exactly.
that want you to come up and do stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, shit, he's doing stuff.
That's when you
He's
become-
about it.
And it's all about being a leader as well. Because
Yes.
once you become accountable, you realize that you're the type of energy that helps that person that was just like you that didn't know how to start. You can help that person.
Right.
So
Right.
you got to be that
And it's
person.
lead by example, too, man.
Right.
And just because I think I'm a conduit for the universe, what the fuck ever, doesn't make me better than anybody else
Exactly.
that doesn't feel that way. I think that, but that doesn't make it true. Right?
You know I'm
Right.
better than you. I have a suit at home.
Peace.
Shout out Chloe Four Hands.
It's a Dickie suit, all right? Fucking guy. Don't lie to the people. I've been to court too, Mike. I won't.
Hey, that's just fancy, man.
I like to imagine that your suit even has like a Nirvana logo on it. It's got a Wu-Tang lapel or some shit.
Yo, did you watch the Woot series?
Nah, man, I don't
Man,
have
that shit
Hulu.
was alright, yo.
The
Just to
one
jump-
on Hulu?
Yeah, it was alright.
I've
Like,
heard about it.
Andy showed it to me. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
made me love the Woo all over again, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking love Wu.
Yeah, I heard it. All of them.
Oh, man. I don't know. I've tried to show them to you a couple times. I don't know how much you like them, but Flatbush Zombies and Beast Coast and ASAP Mob and those guys, they're trying to kind of do some of the same. Joey Badass. They're trying to do some of the same shit. Joey Badass was actually in the Wu-Tang shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So random shout out to Beast Coast. Hopefully they shout me out on their
right.
Hey man, Scott's down in Fredericksburg with all your acid needs. I will not. That's for me.
I'm about to say ASAP Rocky is an acid LSD fan, so
Yeah. They're
avid.
well,
You know, a lot of motherfuckers are. They're just afraid to fucking say it.
yeah. A lot
Which
of
I
people
get
are.
it. I get it, but times are changing.
Also, at the same time, I don't believe psychedelics are for everybody.
No,
Right,
not at all.
yo, right.
Not at all.
Do not. We've seen bad happenings from that.
Use at your own risk.
Yeah.
I did not condone your use. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
same
say.
here. And like, don't fucking. Man, Bill Hicks had a joke. It's like it's one bad egg. It was one guy that thought he could fly, so he jumped off a fucking roof. It's like, you dummy. If you thought you could fly, birds take off from the ground. Why didn't you just fly? So
That's hilarious.
so yeah, don't do shit like that. You're not invincible. Also,
Right.
don't get behind the wheel of a motor vehicle. I think those are the
On
important
any
rules.
drugs.
On any drugs.
I feel like we all sung the Dare song at one point in time.
Yeah. We all sung the there. So,
And we all let them down,
My
too.
first rap lyrics.
good times. That's funny, man.
But I'm gonna jump back on subject real quick so we can get off of subject and just ramble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. I love it.
So my local influences, bruh, like it's crazy because I just randomly fell into a group of like-minded people who had their own brands. One day I was at an event it was like a kid's job fair. And this random guy came up to me and was like, yo, I like what you're doing. The whole buy my shit thing, like, it's cool. I'm going to contact you in a year. And I was like, yeah, okay, guy. Bro hit me back in exactly 365 days and was like, I got an idea. come meet with me. Bro literally lived right behind me. It was crazy. It was like one of those situations where it's like, this is too good to be true. But basically the guy who helped me start Vibes and Paint. He became my business partner. And through that, we basically found people who had brands, real estate agent, someone who makes smoothies, fitness.
What's your buddy's name?
Kenneth Monsanto.
Kenneth Monsanto.
My business partner.
Okay.
So we basically joined forces like the Power Rangers and made that big ass Voltron thing.
Right.
Like me and him are basically the head. We're basically the leaders of the group. And he's a fitness trainer. The artist, like I said, we have a real estate agent. We have someone who makes body butters, and she's also a yoga teacher, and she's also a regular teacher at Stafford, or North Stafford. Sorry. We also have a public speaker. A friend of mine just started a smoothie business, and we have 2 more fitness trainers on the group, and everybody has a brand, so everybody knows what it takes to push your own personal brand. Right. We basically just came together. We all post each other's stuff. Every time somebody has a gig, we're all there. So it's always 7 more people at the event. It's just kind of, we just built together. We kind of made a family out of everybody trying to create sovereignty. And
fuck yeah,
it
dude.
literally just went from there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So every time, like, I know if you guys go on Facebook at some point in time, you're going to see that at least 5 people posted the flyer that you made. And they're the same 5 people or 7 people that posted every time, just because that's what we do.
That's your MO.
If one of them are on the podcast, that thing is getting posted immediately from me.
That's how we have to work together. We have to find that's the creator's covenant that I was trying to talk about. You know, I tell you, anytime you're having a show, let me know. I'll unsaturate my page. Let me know. I post a lot of bullshit, but when it comes to stuff like that, I'll go back and delete posts that weren't original thoughts, so my timeline isn't as saturated, and so that more people can see what y'all are doing. So send me that shit. That's another reason why I wanted to have this podcast, is to try and combine forces.
By the way, if you ain't doing anything on motherfucking Saturday, I'm opening up for Big Schmo at Groove Music Hall right at the Thornburg exit off 95, man. It's going to be a dope show. Everybody come out.
Shout out to JD Roberts, too.
Yeah, JD. I think JD's going to be there, and I heard Dan was telling me that Zai is going to be there, too.
Okay.
So I haven't talked to Zai or nothing, so if I'm misspeaking, Zai, and you're hearing this, let me know. But I heard you were going to be there, too. So
I've got some things in the fire with Dan myself that I'm working on. It's a little top secret. But that's another thing. You know, I've been thinking about going up there and working with him. Dan is the guy who's running like
the promotion.
Yeah, he's running promotions and marketing and stuff at the racetrack, and he's actually the one. Groove isn't there anymore.
Walker, it's not Groove anymore.
Yeah, Jason isn't there anymore. So
no, I meant like the Groove.
Yeah, it's a Groove Music Hall, but
okay.
But Jason Groove Walker, whatever, he's not there anymore. So Dan's the one booking shit. I think I'm going to have him on the podcast soon too, to kind of talk about some of the same stuff. That's somebody that would be good for us to pick his brain too, because he's been working in this area in Northern Virginia doing marketing and promotions for as long as I can remember, and he makes a solid living at it and has a nice 3-story house because of it. So it's not, he's not bad at what he's doing. I've been thinking about working with him, kind of like you were doing with the wine and paint, just to get my foot in the door on that kind of end of the business, and understanding bookings and shit like that, and getting an understanding of how much I'm worth.
Putting yourself in class.
Exactly. That way, when I get out on the road and I'm by myself, I know how to navigate this. I know my worth. I am my own business owner. I could probably pick your brain too a little bit there, Metrii. You probably got some tips.
Definitely.
I know enough to know that I don't know shit, man.
I was just thinking that same thought. I literally don't know nothing, and honestly, sometimes, most of the time in my life, it's kind of like I'm just watching it all go. Like, it's just like I know I set the things in motion, but then it got to a certain point where it was just like, all right, now this is happening. All right, we're doing this. All right.
It's a little bit out of our control. Right. That's the conduit shit, man. That's the universe playing games with itself. Man,
exactly. I like to think that because we already had Basquiat, because we already had Da Vinci, because we had Picasso already, like, I'm better than them. Already, because that energy is already like inside of us. Yeah. It's already here. Okay. So if I study enough, I can already be Basquiat. But I have to be myself.
Who is your favorite painter?
My favorite painter of all time. That's a good question, bro. That's a good question. I've never answered that question.
Really? Because you asked on Facebook the other day who our favorite painter was.
Exactly. Because I was literally asking myself, who is my favorite artist? And I have never answered that question, bro. Like I can say Bob Ross because that was my influence. I watched him the most.
Right.
And I forgot the other dude's name. It was another guy that had like a ponytail. I forgot what the name of that shit. What Pappy's something? Pappy's art class or something. But like
Sounds rapey.
right. It was definitely like edgy. But
Uncle Pappy's art class.
But I have no idea, man. I don't have a favorite artist other than Ernie Barnes. Ernie Barnes was dope as hell, man. He made Sugar Shack, and that's the one at the end of Good Times with all the black people dancing.
Okay.
That may be my favorite artist.
Now, I could see that influence in your mural that you did the other day. I definitely, and it's kind of got that that Harlem Renaissance kind of feel, that jazz.
I love jazz music. That's my favorite genre. Go-go and jazz music.
Coltrane, bro.
Bruh.
I listen to Coltrane when I write a lot.
Go-go and jazz music, my favorite genre. So everything with movement, percussion, sound, noise, people yelling in the microphones. It's my shit.
Dig it. Do you have people like that come to the Vibes and Paint? Is there local jazz artists? If there's any local jazz artists, hit up Meech or I or Mike or fucking Tony B, because Tony B's got that Moonlight Dreams song that we started off with, that saxophone and shit. I'm sure he could use somebody that. Come on.
It's crazy because it's a huge culture in like DC, Richmond, Atlanta with stuff like that.
Right.
And we have people here. It's just not cultivated yet. So.
Yep. Yeah. I even think the rec center is looking for somebody to play jazz and do a jazz night. Right. Man, I would love for there to be a jazz club.
I want somebody
man.
to just come out here and fuck up the jazz flute or some shit, man. Like pull out the trumpet or something, trombone, just wild out. Yeah, bro.
We got to work on this. We got to find the right. There's somebody around here.
Bro,
man.
it's somebody literally just sitting on the couch like, why don't nobody want me to play my tuba?
Yeah, exactly.
Stop being a little punk.
Exactly. Well, that's the point of this podcast, was to fucking come together and inspire some people, man. So, what can the three of sorry, before I ask this question, one of my favorite spots for art downtown, I feel, is Fredericksburg itself has an essence and energy that we talked about that I just feel is an influence in itself. There's something here. There's something in the air, you know.
I could feel it.
But a local artist that tapped into that and had really nice fucking spot to paint was Mr. Gary Melcher. Have you ever been over there?
Nah, I haven't, but I pass that shit all the time.
It looks right over the Rappahannock River, man. And he's got like this little gazebo. It's just a very small room that's built out on the edge of his property that looks down the hill at the Rappahannock River.
Right.
And like that's where he would go and sit and paint. It's just a space big enough to have a fucking, your easel and a stool. And a little bit of elbow room.
Right. That's all you need.
And he would sit there and look over the river and paint.
It's ridiculous. I haven't been there yet.
Check it out.
I am.
It's right off 17.
Yep. I mean, I literally live behind the Exxon with those new developments and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I pass it all the time. It's absurd that I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, check it out, man.
Hell yeah.
It is absurd. You're a local artist, man.
It's fucking absurd, yeah, bro.
But you know how it is, man. The fucking grind. Sometimes you just don't feel like stopping, regardless of how much you should.
You know, a local. We have some local people who have made it out of this town. Danny McBride.
I was just about to say
Danny
that.
McBride is a very well known comedic actor.
Not to cut you, brother. Do y'all know Orlando Bloom lives in Fredericksburg?
Really?
Orlando Bloom lives in Fredericksburg. He literally said, like, I think on Twitter, he was like, yo, I will go to the Giant and people will walk right past me. They'll hand me my groceries and be like, hey, regular ass person that lives in Fredericksburg, because we ain't about that shit.
Huh.
And he said he loves it here. Like,
That's
he
crazy.
literally loves it here.
Huh. That's weird.
I'm gonna find him.
Right?
Don't move away now.
There was always a Redskins fan rumor that Joe Gibbs had a house out in Fawn Lake.
Yeah, he
He
did.
definitely did.
He did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've done a lot of work out in Fawn Lake.
I have
Another good rumor that I can confirm is Steven Seagal has a fucking house in Fawn
What?
Lake too.
Really?
Steven Seagal.
Yeah. You'd see that motherfucker walking around, walking his dogs and shit. It was like normal ass. But then, of course, it's Fawn Lake. It's a gated community.
Right.
You ain't getting in there unless you're supposed to be. So nobody go stalk fucking Steven Seagal.
Right.
Yeah. He'll karate kick your head off anyway.
Easily.
I don't know if we can now.
Just thought about that South Park episode.
When I think about Steven Seagal, I think about the Onion movie. Have y'all ever seen that? Cock Puncher? Oh my god. Watch the Onion movie. Y'all know what the Onion is, right? The satire news site, the Onion.
Oh, yes.
They have a movie that's like satire news the whole time, and they keep doing commercials throughout it for a movie that's coming out called Cock Puncher, and it's Steven Seagal, and he just punches people in the cock. It's self-explanatory. Oh man,
That's hilarious.
Another one, and he's about to come back. Go check. I don't know what date. Go check out Hard Times 4 Mile Fork page if you want to know. Keller
Keller
Williams.
Word.
He's like, how would you define his music, Mike?
It's like
Bluegrassy,
it's
hippie festival music.
like folky style, like it's kind of got that Grateful Dead vibe.
Yeah. He's kind of got his own vibe.
Yeah, he's definitely got his own vibe, but if you're trying to get me to put him in like a category,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's like just a lot of acoustic stuff.
Right. The mountain music.
Jammy, yeah,
Mountain music.
jammy.
Yep, jam band.
I got to see him. I went to Lockin' Festival 2 years ago, and he was there.
Put this mic closer, man.
Man,
Can't nobody hear you.
I'm relaxing now, man. I've been up here the whole time.
With my
But
boys.
fucking, but yeah, he's really dope, dude.
Yeah, it's just small examples of people that understood their own willpower and understood that if they put in the work and committed, that you can do what the fuck you want, man.
You're the fucking money bag, yo.
Money bag, yo. You're the money bag. I like that. I'm
It's
gonna
like I
carry
want to
that
tell
with
people
me.
stop being a little bitch, but stop being scared is,
Stop being
the more
scared.
PC way, bro.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, we should speak from a love space.
Facts.
I was talking about how I'm
Facts.
too zealous and passionate sometimes. I feel like I come off as a dick. So if I'm like, stop being a little fucking bitch, then it's like, come on, man. You got this. Pat on the back.
That's kind of my role in some of my circles with friends and in my business.
Right.
Because, like I said, I got that push it, like that push
motivator.
that aggressive edge. Like you have to have it, especially being
Exactly.
from a place of adversity. You have to have some type of go get it.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Sometimes I'm like, yo, shut your punk ass up and go do it. But
Yeah.
we got to come from a place of love sometimes, because sometimes we needed somebody to be like, yo, I'm gonna give you this hug, but you need to tighten up, man. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You can still tell people what they need to be told. But there's a certain stern love that you can give people, like you said, give them that hug, but also like tighten up.
Right.
Well, that too, and like, especially when you're doing something like you're doing or like I'm doing with music or something, it's like I'm down to work with whoever, but if you're not running the same pace or faster than
You
me,
ain't got time.
like I ain't got time for you, because if I waste time on somebody that doesn't have the same amount of drive as I do to actually get out there and put myself out there, and if you're not doing that exact same thing, I can't really mess with you. And it's not nothing personal. You could be a dope ass artist, but if you're not willing to step up and put that same amount of investment that I'm putting in, it's like sometimes I work 50, 55 hours a week.
Yeah.
And then I come home and do shows. Like 2 weeks ago, I did a show up in Richmond on a fucking Sunday. Didn't get out of that bitch until 2 o'clock in the morning. Had to be at work at 6. It's like you got to put in. You don't if you want to do it, you got to make the time and you got to make it happen. You got to go through those nights where you don't get no sleep, and you got to keep on going. And if you're not willing to move like that, then I just can't. It's nothing personal. I just can't fuck with you, because I'm at this point I'm in it. I'm in it, and I know which direction I'm going. And if you trying to go that direction with me, and then branch off sometime, whatever you trying to do, I'll go as hard as you go. But if you're not going to go as hard as I'm going, I just don't have time for it.
Yep, and that's how I've been getting to, is I just want to surround myself with like-minded people, man. And it's also realizing that sometimes you have to sacrifice friends. You don't have to lose friends, but at least
Right.
sacrifice time with. We can't all just sit at home and paint and write jokes and do poetry every night of the week. There has to be a certain like camaraderie and go out and have friends and have a social life and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying stop living your life.
Yeah, exactly.
But there has to be a certain level of sacrifice to be like, well, I'm not going out this weekend, or I'm not going out. I'll go out Friday, but I'm staying home Saturday, and really work on your shit.
Right.
Watch other people's videos to see how they did it. Study other comedians to understand how cadence and timing works. Write your poetry, paint your pictures, work on your craft. Try to surround yourself with other like-minded people.
Right.
And for people like us, I think it's a matter of, I don't know how many other people we're going to find that are equally motivated right now, that are willing to go the same way that you're going.
Yeah.
I think it has to be if you see someone that you think has potential and that you would want to work with, if they were going at the same rate that you're going, push them a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do.
And that's what it's about. It's not like I'm writing somebody off. It's just like with my shows that I threw back in August and September. It's like I tried to make an opportunity that was gonna prepare the other artists that were coming on. Not that anybody's fully ill prepared, but it's like there's a lot of things about this industry that you don't get.
Right.
Just showing up to open mics and stuff. It's like once you start doing bigger shows, you have to be able to bring a fan base.
Yep.
If you cannot sell tickets to a show, if you cannot sell yourself, if you cannot sell the show as an entire show that you're a part of, you're not going to be able to go anywhere, because once you get to somebody, like say Nappy Roots, you have to sign a contract saying that you will make your ticket sales, and if not, you have to come up with the difference.
Facts.
So
Really?
you're putting you have to be able to bring that fan base. And it's like, in those shows, the tickets aren't cheap.
Yeah.
The tickets are going to be like 20, blah, 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 20 fucking, sometimes they're even $30, depending on if you're selling general admission or whatever. So it's like, if you are an artist and you cannot sell just 10 tickets at $10 a ticket, then once it comes to doing something bigger, you're gonna be stuck. Like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Right. Because you're binded by contract now. It's not like me just saying you get a slot and you got to sell this many tickets. It's you've signed a contract now, so you're liable now for what they have given you.
Yep.
And you have to get their difference back to them. You have to be profitable, or A, they won't want to work with you again if you're not a profitable person, and then B, I mean, if you can't sell tickets,
What do we need you for?
yeah, what do we need you for? Because like, you're not bringing anybody to the show,
Especially when they have the show.
right?
Especially if they already have the show.
Right, and that was another way I tried to structure my little shows. Like, because if I put a venue together and put a show together for local artists, I'll never charge anybody more than $10 to get in it, because it's easier to get people to come out and stuff, and it helps other artists that don't quite either have that fan base or are trying to get that fan base. It makes it easier for them to get people to come to the shows, and then you set it up so where it's like they have to meet a certain amount of ticket sales, but after they meet that, anything they sell after that is their money in their pocket. So it like gives them that incentive. Like, I want to sell tickets because A, I want people at my shows. I want to sell tickets because I got the potential to make a legal hustle.
Right.
Because now I'm selling myself and these other artists around me. And that's another thing with artists. I get it. Like, we all want to eat. We all got egos and shit. But we got to start promoting shows. We can't promote ourselves.
Yep.
You can't promote like just you. I mean, of course, yes, sell yourself and your craft, but if you're going to be a part of an event, you have to fucking promote the event. It's not just about the singular person.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm promoting for an event of a show I've selected artists to come do, I'm promoting for all of you guys. And it's like, you got to promote that. That's how we build as a scene and keep it going.
Well, even with Zai, who's
he is fucking good. If you
really
haven't
good.
heard him yet, go listen to Zai Young.
He's really good, but that's the only other person in town that I know of that I would put on the same level as you when it comes to this, and that would make that your competition. But he is you're so supportive of him and everything that he does.
All
And
shout outs all day. Like,
Yeah, it's both
It's
ways.
all love.
It's all love. That another thing is, me and Zai ain't really family, but we family too, because his daughter is my cousin, so we're kind of family just either way. But
Okay.
that to the side is fucking. He's a talented artist,
He really is, man.
and he writes good music that makes my hair stand up on my neck every time I hear him rap.
cuss.
Yeah, and he doesn't cuss at all. that I know I get a lot of that criticism because I have a fucking cussing problem. Like, I just half the time I was listening to one of the songs of mine the other day, and I was like, damn, I said motherfucker like 5 times in like one bar. But at the same right, for me, that's who I am. Like, I can't help it. It's not, I don't mean to cuss all the time. It's just how it comes out.
Right.
Especially if it's something I'm fucking passionate about. Like, it's just how it comes out, and I can't change the way that emotion came out. So I just let it be. But
I feel like as a rapper, though, it's easier to get away with. As a comedian, sometimes people want you to do clean sets and shit. You know what I mean?
The only thing it's limiting is as far as like the mainstream of things goes.
Right.
But
you're not trying to be on 99.3 The Vibe anyway, are you?
No, hell no. Like you said, it's the age of YouTube, bro. You don't need. We are in the age where the mainstream is dying. I mean, it's still there. It's still there, and they're probably gonna like make some big power grab eventually and take it all away from us. But we are at the age where independent artists can thrive, man. I know people all around the United States that are independent, and they are out there making waves. Just doing it their own grind, investing in their own craft, and fucking going state to state. Because that's another thing with it is like, you can't stay in Fredericksburg and think you're gonna make it. If you got to go out to DC's and Richmond's and like I've done shows in Denver, you have to get yourself out to other places so other people see you.
That's something I did right away. I mean, I've only been doing comedy a year and a half. I don't know how long you've been painting or how long you've been painting.
Professionally, probably about 6 years.
But painting is something you do since childhood.
Since I was a kid. Facts.
Yeah. How long you've been rapping? I mean, poetry, something, same thing.
Poetry, it didn't really turn into rap till about like 10 years ago, ish, which I'm 30. But like I've had instruments since I was a kid, like 13, play guitar and stuff, and So
it's always been a passion.
It's just music in itself has always been that passion for me because I just love any facet of it, like because you get that
feeling, bro.
Yeah,
it's a feeling, bro.
It's a thing where people, just like you're expressing yourself and what you may be going through or what. It gives you that outlet that, like, because you know how it is. I guess it's hard to talk about the shit that's going on in your head all the time. It's like you don't want to talk about that shit to everybody. But when I'm venting it out to myself or I'm writing whatever's going on out to myself and then I can give it to everybody so they know
it's therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. Therapeutic as fuck.
It is.
And knowing that, I know one of your favorite things is when somebody hits you back about a song. It's like, man, I feel like you wrote that song about me. I feel like you're in my fucking head.
Yo, that shit right there is the greatest payment that I could ever receive.
Well, I had not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Pull your mic closer to me. Sorry.
All right, Joe.
I had an art show a couple years ago, and something about me is I'm a avid lucid dreamer. I was flying in my dreams, all type of stuff. For a long time.
Yeah.
Been writing in the dream journal for years, so it's something that I frequent. It's something that I thrive to speak about. But so like one of the things I want to do is I want to be the greatest artist of our generation because I want to bring the bridge between our dreams or what we think and bring it into art. I literally had a older lady come to me at an art show and tell me that she dreamed about one of my paintings, and the painting that I made was just like it was one of those money bag paintings. I would just paint how I felt.
Right.
And it was like I basically changed the colors of everything. Like, of course, the sky was blue, but I made it purple. Water's blue, but I made it green. And it was it was just weird and abstract. And the lady was like, I've been there before. And I was like, bullshit, lady.
Right.
I painted this off the top of my dome. She was like, I promise you I've seen that in my dreams. And that was like a pat on the back because that's what I want to do. I want to, like, I swear at some point in time I'm going to paint things that I'm out of control of. And people are going to be like, yo, that's a connection. Somewhere they're going to connect. But,
that's powerful, man.
Yeah, man. Like I love dreams. I love dreams. Like
I do too.
Controlling my dreams since
Except
I was a kid,
for when
bro.
The scary ones,
I had
some weird dreams.
And even those ones, it's kind of like, what you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
And then it's understanding or trying to analyze why you had that dream.
Yeah. Right. It's almost like a trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that you would
at all. But anyway. But you had brung up a very good topic.
Pink Floyd. We don't do acid.
So you had brung up a very good topic about like the age of YouTube that we're in. And I have this theory that so if you know anything about the Atlanteans, or even if you don't know anything, they would say that was the age where people could telepathically talk to each other.
Right.
Information was just abundant. It was there. It was just in the air, so to speak. We're back. We're back in the air because of social media, because of cell phones. I don't have to say a word for the rest of my life, and I can communicate with everybody on the planet.
Right.
And but kind of same with information, bro. Like I can literally go on Google or go to Wikipedia or go to any encyclopedia, any etymology dictionary, and I can find everything that's ever happened because we're back in the era again. So it's not like I'm thinking what EK is saying in his head, but we're literally in the era to I don't have to say anything to him for him to understand exactly what I'm saying, how I'm feeling, what's the next move I'm about to make. So we're in a very, very, very good era, bro. We're in the time to where it's time to change the world.
It's all about using it, not letting it use you.
Exactly.
So we got 5 minutes left. How do we do it, guys? How do we change everything that we want to change around here? One way. Well, it's one small thing that we can do either collectively or as individuals to help get more people into Vibes and Paint, to see Big Smo, to see my open mics and shit. What can we do?
That's a hard question.
It is hard, man.
It is a hard question, bro.
I don't want to start doing promotional stunts, but
right, fucking hot rod.
yeah.
I don't know, man. Really,
like stuff like this helps.
All that promotional shit. On the side, just talk to people, man.
Yep.
Talk to
Grassroots.
people. Right. Talk to people. That's one thing I hate about social media too. Is that I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but in person, people don't like talking. They don't like making eye contact, bro. And it's kind of weirds me out because it's like, yo, I'm not trying to stand over here awkward. It's like you want to have a conversation, and they're just kind of like, nope.
Well, that's why I set up the podcast the way that I did, is because I wanted to sit across from you guys and actually have a conversation, look at you in your eyes, because I feel like when you don't do that, it takes away from the conversation. Yeah. You know I'm not giving you my energy. Exactly. You know I'm not paying attention. Yeah. Turn your fucking phone off. Live now.
You ain't even got to turn your phone off. Just pick your head up and put a bitch in your pocket.
Facts.
Yeah. Pull it out when you ain't got shit no going on.
Moderation. I think there's a use for everything, and there's an abuse, and when you can find moderation for things, that's when I keep trying to just like, I got to cut out my phone completely. I got to cut out TV completely. Even music. I love music, but it's like, all right, this has been too much of a stimulant. It's all I do. I just listen to music for hours on fucking end, and it's interrupting my actual thought process and fogging my fucking brain. And not only that, but I'm letting Spotify think for me. Shuffle, go ahead. Do what you want. So I try to be more minimalistic about it and go, all right, I'm going to I have 2 songs in the morning and 2 songs at night that I can listen to. And I'm not going to go to shuffle. I'm going to think of a fucking song and play it. And doing that has made it that much more special for me when I listen to music. You know what I mean? It's just that much more like, oh, this is my music today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Moderation. Fucking moderation. It's really good talk, guys. And I think there's still so much that we don't know about each other and shit. So much more shit I could pick your brains about.
Sorry, we can come back.
Yeah, would y'all want to do this again as a group again too?
Yeah, I like this. I like this. Yeah.
I think it's a good dynamic, and now that we have a better understanding of each other, and people have a better understanding of us too, we can come on with less of an agenda. Yeah, that I came in with, which was trying to talk about the Fredericksburg scene, and we can just bullshit, because I feel like there's a lot of times that there's a lot of things that we can bullshit about, the 3 of us. And I know that we're not going to agree on everything either, and I think that's what's important, because at the end of the day, we'll still all be friends, we'll still all be fellow humans.
And we have to show people that.
Yeah, I think that's so important to show people. All right, so
plug it,
Metrii. Social media events.
You can find me on all social media platforms at Art by Meech. Go ahead and type in www.artbymeech.com or www.vibesandpaint.com to check out the brands. Shout out to my leaders and my friends, man. Appreciate y'all.
Any shout outs you want to do specifically?
Definitely. Shout out to Kenneth Monsanto. Shout out to Marsha Drummond. Shout out to Marisha Drummond. Shout out to Nev Ferguson. Shout out to Cena Monsanto. Shout out to Antoine Tyler. Shout out to the whole Fitness Authority, man. Shout out to everybody.
That's love, man. That's fucking love.
If I missed you, Hit my DM.
Yeah,
I
right.
got you.
He's disrespecting you. That's fucked up. He forgot you, man. It was you too. It was on purpose.
Love B.
Mike, social media. Also, your show. Tell people about.
Oh
about
man,
your
yo,
this week.
ugly sweater party, man. Ugly sweater party. December 21st. Ugly sweater. Ugliest sweater wins cash money. Bring your own bottle too, man.
It's
BYOB.
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 You want to go to that?
Oh, yeah.
I think we might
Yeah,
check
yeah,
that
yeah.
out.
Man.
21st. It's Andy's birthday party, but
That'll be going on.
I will
right?
give y'all a stupid shout out. Like I'm gonna make everybody in the building turn around when y'all pull up.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
but
Bet that. My Instagram is Mike Willis _get 'em. Find me anywhere else, just Mike Willis. Yeah, it's either a picture of me smoking or a picture of me on stage. So, my YouTube, if you're just looking for the YouTube channel, is Mike Willis Man.
definitely subscribe to that and hit the bell because when he puts out this song Nightmare, you motherfuckers are gonna wish that you heard it. This is a good goddamn song.
Hell yeah, and I'm gonna be dropping that on Facebook too, so it'll be all across every platform and shit. And like I said, Saturday I'm opening for Big Schmo at Group Music Hall, Dominion Raceway. It's right at the Thornburg exit off 95.
And that's with
It's gonna be
JD
dope.
too. JD's another
Yeah.
really talented guy from
JD's
this
gonna
area.
be there, and Zai is a maybe. I still don't know. I don't know what that. So.
I think I heard Chappelle was gonna be there too.
maybe, but
Make sure you're there.
shout out my mom for telling me she was proud of me not long ago, which that shit fucking got my heart real good.
That's dope.
But shout out everybody, man. Everybody that's trying to help build the music community and just the arts and everything. Like, there's too many, man. Like 17K Entertainment is great, man. They're doing great work with visuals and audio. Fucking shout out Tef Wesley, Zai. Man, there's too many rappers around here to just go right off the bat, and I'm shooting blanks because I'm a stoner. But you know, I love all you. If you know me and you've done shows with me, you know I fuck with you. So fucking
Simple as that.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that's love.
as simple as that.
You know I love you.
For me, I think everybody that's watching this knows where to follow me on social media. This is not Scott on Instagram. This is airing on my comedy page on Facebook right now, and
It's airing.
yeah,
You're like it's airing.
it's everywhere. It's the essence. And then I have an ugly sweater contest at the Recreation Center this Thursday, December 12th. Winner receives a free meal and a $10 gift card. So that's something. Hey. It's right there on William Street, the Rec Center. Big shout out to Melissa and Keith Anderson, the owners of the Rec Center. Really cool people, man. The new owners. And if there's creators out there looking to make opportunities for yourself, like I said earlier, go talk to them because they're willing to work with you. They're creators too. They're in a band. Shout out to Nikotakis for letting us do comedy for as long as he has at all of our establishments. Zoom, because without Zoom, I don't think I really would have met you and known you and shit. Shout out to Eric and FXBG Radio for letting us do this. And also, the unprecedented shout out. Shout out to Mark Toller from 360 Marketing. Mark, thank you for letting me do my first podcast from your studio and with your equipment. You helped us start this, so fucking thank you, dog.
Shout out to Mark, yo.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Mark.
definitely.
And I think we're done. I think that's it. Enjoy the trip, y'all.
Hey, man.
Fuck yeah. It's been fun, fellas.
It's been fun. It's been a good time. Tune back in. We'll do it again.
Hell yeah. See you next time, bitches.
Peace.